Spring is definitely in the air, which gave the opportunity to cycle a bit further. However, I stayed in Hertfordshire, which is my county and located just north of London. Viewers have asked for a map of routes, and so it is linked in the description below, as are details on the music included in the video. Today I rode to Flaunden, which is on the edge of the Chiltern Hills. It's located 460 feet, 140 metres above sea level, which was very relevant, as I'll explain later. St Paul's Church, Leylingbury in St Albans is a very different architecture to most of the churches I've visited, as it was built in 1864. It's early English Gothic style with pointed arches and intricate stonework. Although the buildings of England state the exterior is unpromising, I like the design. This church was funded by a London banker, William Jones Lloyd, who was also High Sheriff in Hertfordshire. There's a large memorial cross with fine and intricate carvings in the front of the church commemorating his life. Unfortunately, the church was not open when I visited. As mentioned earlier, Flaunden is located 460 feet 140 metres above sea level. However, it hasn't always been this elevated. Originally, the village was located on the banks of the River Chess, about 1.5 miles, 2.4 kilometres away from the present village, and very much downhill from where we are. There is very little, if anything, left of the original settlement. In the 1700s, the village of Flaunden slowly began to decline on the banks of the Chess and expand at the top of the hill. It's believed this was due to flooding and also a plague. The movement uphill was accelerated by the building of a new church there in 1838, and by the end of the 1800s only 2 cottages and an orchard remained in the original area. The old village is now lost under the grass. A local told me about the original church, but was unable to locate it on a map or even through Google. St Mary Magdalene Church was constructed in 1837-8 by Sir George Gilbert Scott. It's an early example of Victorian Gothic style. It incorporates elements from the original medieval church, such as the bell and font, and uses building materials for the original church. The original church was built in the old village and dated back to 1230. The bell was brought from the old church and it was made originally in 1578. The clock is very unusual in that it only has one hand. I was unable to find out why. The clock mechanism is connected to the bell tower and it did seem to be moving the If you enjoyed this Hertfordshire trip, please click the like and subscribe button. Next week I will again be on my bike riding around my area, so I hope you can join me. Have a great week.